Intate Wakanda ishinke. Dewa wikshi. Hamba gatha hier daha shio wiki. Hier de ke wala mashi. Hier de ke wala mashi. Wata that's Anjinka nak ena ki kombra. Dat na dali spish on ikshia pataha dali wadach. Dat de ola ki kampi kombra. Dhegiha kisto ankali pataha di dali alach kombra. De kontra de Dhegiha kisto de ankali pataha dat de ola ki kampi kombra. Ile te wala mashi wajaji olanji di dali ala chikombra akon apshet khanesh kita di dali balakshi. De konsa de kisto de ankali pataha de na konshinka ankale hompea dali tsinse na konshinka ankale. De konsa de to tsanika she pataha de Chile lite peha de dali alak kombra tatta ola ki kampi kombra. De isto wale ki stompa pi dali walak. Da ke wala ke peha kombra. No nika shia pata linke khale oe ki de aje pata wata etc. No nika shi ki nampe de kontra de wa pale ka ipon shia pata de mo pshwa ok an khadale ha de kontra de di dali wadakshi aji de wata etieta kinampe ina intate el pa kinampe de wa pale abrieta de kontra de wa pale de toa nika shia pata de Chile dikta pia Chile wikta pia dia dali ala chikon pe toa de hainche cascada on conta pia dia dali ala chikon tata du dali special non nika shia pata itate wakanda itashi se la de hade wala ai itate da ke wala ke kon la de nika shia pata di da ke wala ke di dali ai dati dak ewala ke piha kona wa pane ankai aji de wata etieta i pohon idi pohon di da pe ala chikon ai dati dak ewala ke piha kona han pe to de ai che i de ke de wala ke ta to wala ke kampi kon ai dati o we brakena I gashena ka konga kipshina amen. Last year we gathered and we just to gather and just to make acquaintance with each and every one of you and trying to bring us together again. And we talked about it. And it's very moving to know at one time we were one. And then we had those splits, and we had our ways, and we went our ways. Went upstream, went downstream. Some of us stayed. But we made that split, and then now we're back together. And we want this to grow because we see that it can be a worthwhile venture to come together like this. And we'll break bread together, and we'll talk together, we'll pray together, we'll laugh together again. Because it's meant to be like that. We were one at one time. And we think that this is a good time to try to proliferate that acquaintance. And there's a lot of trials and tribulations that you go through. And I think that one thing I think is time's getting short in order to bring this language back. We're going to have critical areas in our time to try to do that. And all of you have been with the language in one form or another. And we love it because it's us. It makes us different. And I think that our program at the Wajaji, our Wajaji language program had benefited from its government. Myself, my own thinking is that you need your government in your language endeavors. It's hard to go it alone. It's hard to make decisions on your own that affect the whole nation, the whole tribe. There's a lot of trials and tribulations you're going to go through. You need your government not only as support, financial support, but you need their arbitrary powers to make those decisions. And those of you that have been in language and teaching language, you're going to run into those experts. And you're going to run into people that say they're not saying it right. And you're going to have a way to write it, and it's got to be accepted. Because everybody's going to not want to change the way they write it. There has to be the government make those kind of decisions that's going to affect everybody in that tribe. And we need that. We need that. We need the government to come in, our own government. And then they can make that government to government that is going to take to proliferate this language to the lifestyle that it needs to be enhanced through that power. It's hard to go it alone. I've tried it before. I've been working with this language. I didn't know anything about this language. I've been working with it about 40 years. And I come this far and I still can't learn it. I still don't know. We have people that we had when I was young. They used to speak it all the time. I thought it would be here. I never realized that it was going to be like this. And now I was in my 30s when I started trying to learn the language. And I come through these difficult times when we'd have a language, the community classes, and we'd go 40. I started out with 40 people. And soon after that, a month even, we'd be down to 1 or 2. Sometimes I'd be sitting in there by myself. Because people find out that it's hard language. It's a hard language to learn. And my people, my old people used to talk to me and they say, it's easy. They couldn't see where I was at. it was so easy for them to say it so correctly that they couldn't understand the difficulty in it. And it never was forced upon us. It never was brought to us in a way that, well, we had to learn it. But I always say, with the government, you can provide those ways that makes it easy to learn. And we have classes, and then through the government, you can get through these school systems. The school system seems to be the thing that works, because they got them for 5 days a week, whole hour, 5 days a week. And that's what it takes, exposure to it. And then you come in what we call immersion. And we got to learn how to do immersion, because that seems to be the only thing that works. And I admire the Ponca people. I admire the Omaha. They have speakers. They have people that can speak. And they need that. They need their government into that to help them, to provide a way for these speakers to reach their people. With the call and the Osage and the Quapaw, it's going to be a little different. We have to learn another way. And we have to use exposure and immersion, and we have to develop that. And we have to be together in it. And I think this is very valuable to get together in order to help one another. We need to share our languages. We need to share our problems. And they're all difficult problems to try to proliferate what we need to do and how to come up with teaching methods, how to make things work. And then also, when you get into a language, you bring in literacy into it nowadays, because we're into modern times now. And you're going to run into problems there. And then you got to educate your government on the enormity of it. And it's an enormous task to try to, you got to write books. You got to maintain it after you learn it. We're in a problem where we have to learn how to teach people how to speak the language. We're not like the English language. You come into school system knowing how to speak. And then you learn how to maintain it through language classes, literature classes, different things. And then you have to have a writing system. And those things have to be recorded. And the way, we got a two-parter. Some of them, you got to learn how to teach them. And then after you learn how to teach them, we're kind of doing it backwards. We get into school and then we try to learn the language and try to figure out a way to write it down. And then you need that. You need the backing of your government to do that. And it takes to write a book, write a dictionary. But we're in a situation where we want to write a dictionary, but we want to do it in Osage. I'm seeing a lot of our literature comes in, and it's about things that they documented, and they documented it. Once they figure out what it means in English, then they feel like they have it documented. But we want it in Osage. We want it in our language, so that we'll be able to have something that's pure. And we're going to have that because we can't go with an English meaning, because we need that for our ways, our culture, because language can't exist without culture. Because if you don't have language in your culture, you're going to adapt different ways. You're going to adapt other customs to fulfill some of the things that you do. And that's what it's been written down by people that have studied our languages and found out that you're going to adapt to different customs. and your culture's going to change. If you say it in your language, then you're going to stay pretty much. And then culture can't exist without the language. So they kind of work hand in hand and they complement each other. So that's my thinking. And that's why we're gathered here. I want to hear your thinking. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what your problems are. And I think that's where we're going to make that union. We're going to make that union, and we're going to become one. My father used to talk Osage. He knew Osage, that's his first language. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for that we can make that connection, we can help one another. And it's going to be a powerful, powerful situation. Get 5 tribes moving together. Nothing like it. It's a powerful tool. We can get 5 tribes moving together on one purpose. That's to bring our languages back. To be able to express ourselves to one another and understand one another. And it's in there, they say. Culture's in there. My father said, it's going to come to you. I've heard that. And a lot of times it would run people away because they thought when they come into an Osage language class, because I'm Osage, I'm going to learn it. They found out it didn't work that way. But I know it's there, because my father told me it was. He said, it'll come to you.